I opened the door to my mom's friends, and they instantly ran upstairs into my room. I followed them confused and saw them opening my clothes drawers, inspecting dust on my windowsill, and grabbing candy bar wrappers off my desk, yelling, "Why isn't this cleaned?" At least that's how Mom made it seem it would be when she had me deep clean my room 2 hours ago, spraying antibacterial fluid in corners I'd never even touched. But Dad pressed $10 into my palm and said, "That's your allowance for the week, son. Spend it however you want." My eyes lit up, and I immediately went to the store, walking out with chips, candy, and some soda. But on my way home, I spat the soda from my mouth because the bike I'd been wanting for years was for sale at $250. I immediately did the math and realized I could have a new bike in 6 months if I just saved my allowance. I went home determined and saved every cent from that day on. Every time Dad pressed the $10 into my palm, I carefully hid it behind my old bike helmet in my closet. I watched my friends spend their allowance on snacks and chips, and even though I was jealous, I held out. 6 months later, I walked into the bike store and gave the cashier my $250. I took my dream bike off the rack and cycled home with a huge smile. I wheeled it inside, but when Dad saw me, his face immediately changed. "Where did you get that bike?" I smiled. "I've been saving my allowance for months, Dad. I haven't bought a single snack. Are you proud of me?" But he went red and got in my face. "That's not what an allowance is for. An allowance is for small purchases, not saving up." The smile on my face dropped and I replied, "But you said spend it how I want." "That's literally what I did. I just saved up and bought my bike." He held up his hand and called my mom in. My wife slid a manila envelope across her parents' dinner table and said, "I know about Catherine." Nobody had touched the food. Her dad sat with both hands folded beside his plate. Her brother blocked the doorway with his arms crossed, and Natalie was sitting at the opposite end of the table instead of beside me. I opened the envelope. Credit card charges, hotel photos, screenshots from a contact saved as K. Every Tuesday for 3 months, highlighted in yellow. "Before you lie," her mother said. "We hired someone." My fork slipped off the napkin and hit the floor. I tried to stand. Her brother stepped forward. "Sit down and explain who she is." Every time I opened my mouth, someone threw another page at me. A hotel lobby photo, a restaurant receipt, a text from K that said, "Perfect night." Natalie tapped the paper with one shaking finger. "Was I supposed to find out before or after you took her to our anniversary spot?" I said. "Please let me explain." Her dad pushed a folded document across the table. "She already filed. Divorce papers." My chest went hollow. "You filed before asking me?" Natalie's brother shrugged. "We wanted proof first." I reached for my phone, but her mother moved between us. "No private conversations. Say it here." That was when tiny footsteps creaked above us. My stomach tightened. "Where are the kids?" Natalie wiped her cheek. "Upstairs." I gripped the chair. "What did you tell them?" Nobody answered fast enough. Her mother lifted her chin. "We told them Daddy made grown-up mistakes and would live somewhere else." The room blurred around the yellow highlights. "You told our kids I was leaving them?" I pulled my own envelope from inside my jacket and dropped it on the table. Cream paper slid out first, followed by a guest list with every name in that room printed under family. K is Catherine Benner, the event coordinator at Grand Lakeview. The hotel charges were deposits. The restaurants were tastings. Perfect night was our vow renewal. Natalie's hands covered her mouth. I unfolded the invitation and pushed it toward her. "Natalie, 10 years later, I'd still choose you." Her father's name was on the RSVP card. So was her mother's. So was her brother's. Nobody touched it. Upstairs, my daughter called, "Daddy." I walked past the table, picked up both. Me and my mom were scuba diving when a blue fish came up to me and flicked its tail like it wanted me to follow it. So I left the tourist group and went after it to see what it wanted to show me. It led me down past a wall of coral that opened up like a city, purple fans and orange tubes glowing. A shadow slid over me and I froze. A dolphin glided down beside the fish and slid under me, so I grabbed its fin and it carried me deeper into the dark, and the blue fish followed us the whole time. It slowed over a patch of empty sand where dozens of fish lay still. The blue fish swam around them in a circle extremely quickly, like it was waiting for me to swim down and pick one up. I swam down and reached for one with trembling hands, but when I held it, it didn't feel like a fish. It was hard, like a toy, and when I turned it over, a seam ran down its belly, stamped with tiny letters and a number. I pried it open, and behind the eye was a glass lens, and a red light blinked back at me. It was a camera. I held it up to show the blue fish. It flicked its tail and turned for the dark, like there was more to see. I was just about to follow when a hand closed on my arm and yanked me back. Mom dragged me up and tore my mask off the second we reached the surface. I was worried sick. "You do not swim off like that, ever." I tried to tell her about the fish, but my hands were empty and I knew she wouldn't believe me. The next day I tried to convince my mom to go back and book another scuba dive, but the bus driver looked at me through the mirror and said, "Kid, don't get off at your stop today." He reached back with his phone showing my mom's number. I grabbed it and called her. A man with a thick accent answered, telling me to come straight home, but I heard my mom screaming, "Don't come home, run." The bus driver instantly grabbed his radio. "Code red on bus 19. I need police at every stop." He told me to get on the floor. I dropped between the seats. From the floor, I saw us passing my house. A white van was parked in the driveway. 3 men in ski masks stood around it, and one was holding zip ties. My phone buzzed. A photo of my dad tied up in our basement with blood running down his face. Another text saying, "Get off at the next stop or he dies. You have 60 seconds. The bus driver looked at my screen and shook his head. "It's a trap. Don't move." I started sobbing, asking what was happening, and he just said, "My dad isn't who I think he is." 2 more white vans pulled up on both sides of the bus. He reached under his dashboard and pulled out a satellite phone. "Target's been found. Family's taken. I need extraction now for the package." He glanced at me. "Yes, the package is secure." The white vans rammed us from both sides. Kids were screaming. He He slammed the gas and plowed straight through. He told me my dad had been undercover investigating a trafficking ring for 5 years. Someone leaked his identity this morning. A van slammed into our back bumper, and he yanked the wheel hard left. They're Russian mafia. A helicopter appeared overhead, and a spotlight hit the bus. His jaw clenched. New plan. He handed me a backpack from under his seat. He pointed at a building with a red door and told me to run straight to it when he stopped driving. I asked about my parents, and he said the photo was fake. My parents were in witness protection already. He slammed the brakes and hit a button. The emergency exit flew open. I ran fast with the backpack bouncing on my back. I heard gunshots, but I kept looking straight. The red door opened before I reached it. A woman in tactical gear pulled me inside. She handed me a phone. I heard my mom, "Baby, we're okay. We're all